Well, what have I bought today? Oh dear. Yes, indeed. It's a CD player for those who might not know. I spotted this at my thrift and I thought, wow, that looks unusual. It's not the usual kind of identikit CD player. It was made in January 1988 and it looks for all the world like a NAD. It's got that kind of look and it's got that kind of slightly different look to the buttons. I thought, is that a NAD under another name? But no, it's an Audio Dynamics CD1000E. It turns out Audio Dynamics were a trade name of BSR North America. Remember BSR? They're cheap turntables that they put in about 1,000,000,001 cheap stereo systems. I used to hate those things. Anyway, this was one of their brands. Excuse me. And I paid $6 for this. And I always want to know, what is the digital to analog converter? It's got a little bit of weight about it. It's not a cheapo, lightweight thing. So I thought, I've got to have it just to find out what the digital to analog converter is inside it. So, any ideas? What do you think it might be? Anyway, let's get the top off, because to find out what the D2A converter is, you need to take the top off. So, here we go. And there we are. There's the top off. And there's the inside. And right away, I spotted the digital to analog converter there. It's a Burr Brown PCM 54HP. A pretty classic D2A converter. That's one single digital to analog converter that is time-shared between the left and the right channels. So it's not a dual DAC machine, it's a single DAC to save money, because that was an expensive part at the time. That was probably the most expensive part in the whole of the player. Quite nice bits and pieces. There's a Sanyo chip there. A couple of Matsushita op amps, they look like, probably, for the output. They didn't bother fitting the fuses there, you can see. Rubicon caps, some nice Rubicon caps. In fact, they're all Rubicon caps. Another Matsushita chip. That Hitachi chip is probably for driving the display and the switches. And there is a chip on the other side of the board that probably drives the servo motor for the player itself. Now, does it actually work? Oh, focus disc. Oh, right. And indeed the drawer does open. After a little bit of persuasion, it actually opens and closes and spins up and reads the table of contents. And look at that lovely round play button. Look at that. It's a bit difficult to see with the way the light is in here, but anyway. And there you go, it's playing back. Nice amber display. And I don't know what it sounds like yet. I've not actually connected it to anything, but I'm sure it sounds fine. They usually do. And there is one story online of a guy who bought one of these in a thrift store and was pretty amazed by its sound. It beat some far more expensive CD players that he had in his collection. So I'm just going to let it play back on repeat for maybe 24 hours and then give it a listen. I didn't need another CD player, but I just had to find out what was inside it. And I can't say I'm disappointed. It looks a well-made machine with quality parts. I've seen far, far worse. I have no idea who makes the CD mechanism. It's not Sony, that's for sure. So, don't know. It could be Sanyo. You know, it could be Toshiba. This particular player could be made by maybe Toshiba or Sanyo. I don't think it's made by Yamaha, but it's been put together by one of those companies that puts a lot of these things together, and they don't really leave any clues. You just can't tell. But it was made in Japan, so it's reasonable quality. So there we are. Today's thing that I didn't really need. Oh dear, I never learn. Oh well, see you next time.